Alrighty then. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 516. Multiple publishers and being KDP exclusive. There's Stanley. He's all tucked away back there. All right. How do I do it? Well, I publish my own stuff. I have, according to Amazon, I have some 200 and some titles, but that's all kinds of short stories, as well as the anthologies they were in, as well as collections. It all comes together. I probably have, 80, 90 things that I've published personally as part of my publishing company. But I publish series with other people like LMBPN or Athon or Chris Kennedy Publishing or even Bain. I have a story coming up in a Bain anthology fairly soon. So, multiple publishers. You need to have the horsepower and bandwidth to create these stories. Full books, full series, and these publishers, mid-list, as well as small independent publishers. I worked with them, got a good deal that I was good with, and I wrote books for them. Now they handle the marketing. Yes, I handle some marketing as well, but it's very comparable to traditional publishing of the past in that I don't have to do any of it, but I do because that helps both of us. So they publish some of my books. I publish some of my books. I have multiple guys that I work with. They publish. So if for some reason my account was terminated, erroneously it would be, I'm not doing anything shady, I would only lose maybe 20% of my total revenue. And I can weather that. I can weather that pretty well, especially if it's only for a day or two, which it would be before we could get the account back. So I found indie publishers who were interested in my stuff, who had a good readership already, and I published with them, and now I want their readers to then come into my backlist, which I get. So it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. Now, it helps to be established in the first place, because then you're offering your readers to them. So they get that exposure, and they pick up some readers. I pick up some of their readers. We all win. They take care of the advertising and all this other stuff, getting covers. I take care of my own editing always, because I like my editor. And that's how I publish. And that's how I am diversified while being KDP exclusive for almost all of my titles. Some people go wide. And even if you're wide, your Amazon titles may still account for 80% to 90% of your revenue. So even if you're wide, that's still maybe eggs in one basket kind of approach. Or some people have less than 50% of their sales from Amazon while being wide. That's still a rather significant proportion of your revenue that could be lost for some unknown reason, as well as from any of the other advertisers. So if one of my publishers, they lost their account for some reason, maybe 20%. I'm spread out pretty well. Also, it helps getting money from different sources, not just one source, Amazon. I get it from Amazon, but I get it from these other companies. That's nice at the end of the month, getting all of these additions to my checking account. I win, they win, and yes, they take a percentage. They take a percentage that worked for me. Just like in a trad contract, I have a trad contract too for 4 books, and we published those a lot of years ago, 6 years ago, right now anyway. And that was good enough for me then. It wouldn't be now. And it worked. They sold a lot of books for me. They sent me some nice paychecks. Not recently. I mean, series get old after a while, and that's all there is. But so keeping it fresh, keeping new books into the pipeline, getting publishers energized with a series, delivering that series, getting that series published. And sometimes there's a lag. Last year I wrote 6 books for a series. And each time I wrote that book, it wouldn't come out for a couple months. You don't get paid for 3 to 6 months after that. So I wrote 2 books, 2 months, wouldn't get paid for a year from that. But as you go over time, initially when you get into the business, that's a little bit traumatic. You're investing all this time writing a book, and then you don't get paid for a long time. But while you're doing other work, then you're getting paid. So that's why I have books that I publish and books that other people publish for me, and I try to stagger the writing